It has been a minute. This is Yobi1 checking in, and my fan is going on, so I'm just gonna shut that off. Whew! I know. I made a video a few months ago letting you guys know that I would be going back to Japan, and I'm just in the midst of finishing up. And so right now I'm in my apartment in Vancouver, and everything's empty, getting packed. I'm actually moving out tomorrow. And the short-term plan is I'll be going back home to Edmonton for a few weeks, taking it easy, catching up with my family and, friends and things before I go off to Yokohama at the end of August. It's been a really kind of interesting getting ready, I would say, this time compared to the other times moving to Japan, particularly having, established roots, having your own place, having your lots of things that you've accumulated over the years. It actually made it a lot more challenging than it was in the past. When I was in university, I just packed up a couple of suitcases, left all of my things in my mom's house, and I didn't really have to worry about anything. I don't even really remember like getting my visa being a difficult thing or challenging. So that was a little bit 12 years ago kind of thing. So going as a student in doing my undergrad as going now as a student doing my grad program, working full time and being an adult, it's definitely been a lot more steps to complete. So I would say definitely for those planning to go to Japan, these are things that you need to take into consideration before you leave. Is what the hell are you going to do with all your stuff? Are you going to sell it? If so, what can you get for it? That for me was the kind of pressing thing for the past couple of months. Is I posted all of my furniture, all of my things. There's tons of different options that you can consider. You can go storage. If you have family or friends, maybe you can keep things with them. But now, living in Vancouver with no family here, didn't really make sense to put anything in storage. And checking out the price of storage, it was just getting way too expensive, and I felt like, I don't really want to spend money to keep things that I might not even need in the future, to be honest. Because again, who knows what will happen? Who knows what will happen at the end of this round of life in Japan? And so I kind of made the decision that it made more sense to just sell everything, get rid of everything, and then just move to Japan with 2 suitcases. I have my 2 suitcases over here. So my whole life has been reduced down to 2 suitcases. And it's actually been kind of, I don't know, it's been kind of peaceful. It's been kind of, how can I say, cleansing to kind of reduce all of the things that you don't need. I realized after the past, several years living with my girlfriend, we accumulated a lot of shit, a lot of stuff, and how much of it did we actually need? So it's taken me a couple of months to get rid of it all, selling my bed, selling my furniture, all of those things that we had just actually purchased, and trying to get a decent deal on it, because sometimes people try to lowball you, which is totally understandable. I'm not going to hate on that. I would definitely do the same thing. So yeah, I got rid of everything. I finished just this morning. I sold the last of my main furniture, and all I have right now is little air mattress that I bought on Facebook for the past few days, because I sold my bed and my mattress that I'd had for a few years. And now, everything's empty, everything's clean. I'm just doing the last little bit of things before the landlord comes and does the inspection tomorrow. And then I will take my 2 suitcases and a couple boxes. I'll say there's a couple boxes of things. But basically, to Japan, I will just take the 2 suitcases. This time, I'm packing a little bit differently. I think last time I had a few, a few more clothes, a few more, things like that I brought. This time I was thinking about what will my life be like in Japan, and what do I actually need. So the things that I don't need that I would like to keep, I'm actually going to put in a couple of boxes. My sisters are going to store that. They're going to take care of that for me. The things that I will take with me, So for example, I have my air fryer. I'm packing my air fryer. I'm taking my air fryer, my coffee machine, packing my coffee machine, and those are those are the kind of two things that I'm thinking about because I actually got an apartment, not too far from my school, but it's very, very bare bones. It's kind of the same setup that I had last time when I was living in Sapporo. I was living in a kind of a month to month rental apartment that's open to foreigners. Pretty flexible, pretty fair deal. It comes pre-furnished, but it really doesn't have a lot. It has like a tiny, tiny fridge. It has, one small, tabletop burner. Um, I think there's a hot water boiler machine thing. Who knows? So, having the air fryer there, letting me have more options for cooking when I'm there. Having, my lifeblood. I think anybody's lifeblood once you're over 30 is a coffee machine. And the ironic thing is coffee and all that stuff going to the conveni every day. It's actually quite cheap in Japan, but I decided, I'm not gonna buy a bunch of K cup pods. I'll buy like the reusable one that I can fill in my own coffee. Um, and you don't know how important that is to me to have my coffee. I need my coffee. I need decent coffee, and I know that I'll be drinking quite a few cups. And so I'm not taking this coffee machine. I have another one that I kept in my office at work. That one's a little bit more compact, so I've packed that as well in my suitcase. Um, what else do I have? I have my rapid COVID antigen tests. While I'm going to school, we actually have to test ourselves. Originally, it was weekly, but due to the kind of spike in COVID cases in Japan right now, the school that I'm going to has actually shifted their policy. So what they're doing is we'll actually have to do half the schedule is going to be online for the first couple of months, and then half of it will be in person. And then I believe we need to do one of the rapid antigen tests before every day before class. I think that's what was in the last message. So, they said that they would be providing those tests for free, which is great. I have some on my end. Got my contacts, which I don't usually use anymore. Bringing my Switch, bringing my PlayStation. I don't know how much time I'll have for gaming. To be honest, this first year doing grad school, I took a step back from gaming. I hadn't played games the whole year, and I just dedicated that time that I would have been gaming to reading and things like that. So I imagine that's what it's going to be like now getting ready for IUC in Yokohama. They actually gave us pre-program homework, which was pretty interesting. And basically they said, this is the level that you need to kind of be at. You need to be able to understand all of this. You need to be able to kind of understand this level, conversation, reading, writing, etc. So that's what I was basically doing in July with going to work still. On the weekends I would go study with my friends at the library and just kind of get up to speed. And so that was the first time that I've actually seriously studied Japanese consistently in over 10 years. I don't think, the last time that I actually sat down and every day reviewed vocabulary and every day reviewed kanji and every day kind of reviewed grammar was in Sapporo. And so that must have been 2013, 14 to 15-ish. And, even I took Japanese classes, while I've been working at UBC, I took Japanese intermediate 300 something and 400 something Japanese level courses. And even taking those courses, I would say I wasn't consistently studying. I was getting what needed to get done for the class. So what that means is I would, just because I was working full time, I didn't have the time to dedicate to consistent reviewing. So, Monday to Friday, I'm just focused on working, getting work stuff done. And then Saturday and Sunday is when I would try to cram and get everything done, try to get, reviewing vocab, reviewing grammar. And that's not a good way to study. I don't find that really effective. I might be able to, make it through that week of tests and finish up that week's homework and things like that. But I find that way of studying, nothing actually sticks in mind. So, what I like is that everyday kind of studying consistently. So I'd prefer, instead of cramming 8 hours on Saturday and Sunday, I'd prefer maybe 2 hours a day every day for me, and that's what kind of makes it stick better for me in my head. So getting ready for IUC has been actually fun, getting to study again. I've been spending more time in the library. Um, and yeah, I'm getting excited to test myself and see how much of it I can actually still remember and what it's going to be like. In the first week of classes, we're going to have placement tests. And, you know, I didn't realize it, but I've really gotten anxious. I have anxiety when it comes to tests. I don't know how I will perform, but it's the same feeling that I had when I was doing this application for IUC when I applied to the program and we had to take tests. And they didn't even really give us a heads up. In the when we initially submitted our applications, we were told that yeah, you guys will have some kind of tests for the selection process, and we literally found out about the tests maybe like 7 days before, maybe 6 or 7 days before. I think it was the Wednesday before we got an email and said, hey, you're scheduled, this is when you're gonna have your test. And I had no confidence going in. I think I took some time off work and I just tried to focus for the first couple of days and study. And all in all, I don't know how I performed, but I think it went well because I got in and I did get a full scholarship with a living stipend, and that was kind of the cutoff for me. I said if I wasn't going to get that living stipend, it's a really tough choice. It's a really tough choice at this stage in life to take a year off of working and making money and just living off your savings, and so the living stipend made it more feasible and more reasonable for me to want to go and do this. And I feel like this is honestly the last chance in my life. I know people still say I'm young, I'm 35, but I really feel like this is the last chance that I'll have to kind of dedicate myself entirely to studying Japanese and trying to get myself to that level that I've always wanted to get at, to that academic level. So it's going to be a challenge, but at the same time, I'm so excited. I can't even wait to start. I even, now I'm planning on going back home for a few weeks. I even just want to kind of go back home for a week and then fly out early. I want to see if I can change my COVID test and my flight dates and just fly out early and just go make the rounds and go visit Sapporo, visit Nagoya, visit my old stomping grounds. I think that would be really cool. But as my current plans are, I'm currently planning on arriving August 30th and then moving into my apartment on September 3rd, and then the first day of school is basically September 5th. So, I'm not going to have a lot of time from arriving to getting situated to going to school. So yeah, that's a brief update on that end. I'm super excited. I can't wait. But yeah, it's definitely interesting to go to Japan now, mid 30s compared to early 20s. And I think it's not impossible, but you have to definitely kind of evaluate things and make decisions. And it does take a lot, a lot to plan for, a lot to kind of finalize and decide, and making big life choices like that. And it's always helpful to kind of rely on somebody close to you to kind of talk with them and go through it and kind of weigh the pros and cons. But I think this opportunity for me is probably what I need if I want to have the prospect of ever really working in kind of an interrelation position between Canada and Japan in some capacity. I'm not sure exactly what that position might be, but the program that I'm doing right now is super interesting. I'm having lots of fun with my instructors, and it's something that I actually enjoy studying. When I was writing my end of term papers, I actually enjoyed the subject. I got to choose my own subjects. I got to choose my, to study about. I wrote an essay on Gundam. That's how weird and but it felt good. It felt like the thing that I wanted to write about and kind of express my thoughts on. So yeah, that's just a brief update. I think I'll start posting a lot more now, getting back into posting on YouTube, getting back into doing lives and stuff like that. Now that I'm going to be moving back home, I've gotten my moving stuff done. My bags are packed. I have the Good Riddance Green Day song playing in the background while I'm packing and cleaning. And I'll, be back in my hometown, Edmonton, maybe catch up with some people while I'm there, finalize a few things, and yeah, it's only a couple weeks out to Wheels Up. So, post a comment, let me know if there's anything specific, any questions that you guys have, anything that you want to see. I might start doing, I don't know if I'm going to do study videos. I have my own way of studying, so I don't know if my way of studying is conducive to other people's way of studying, but yeah, if you have any questions, post a question and let me know. And thank you so much.